Hi, my name is Kat Ham, and this is my IMP2 final web project. So for the overview of my event, DAFT is a student group dedicated to the love and appreciation of theatrical performance, and this year I was their treasurer. They perform free and open to the public shows, including the fall variety show called Daft Acts Out and the spring play. This year the spring play was called Harvey, which is a play written by Mary Chase in 1944. It tells the story of a man named Elwood P. Dowd and his unseen friend Harvey, who's a 6-foot tall rabbit. The show was directed by Emma Seymour and Rachel Krolman, and it ran on April 8th at 7:30 p.m. and April 9th at 2:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. All of the plays that have been produced by Daft are free to the public, but they do welcome donations at the door. For the premise of my project, I wanted to create an online advertisement for the Daft Theater spring play called Harvey in order to spread awareness for the club overall and this performance in particular. And I really just had a broad audience, just targeting theater supporters and people living in the area who may have an interest in seeing the show or supporting Daft. And I just wanted to provide kind of some background for the audience just on the club overall and this show, and encourage people to support the show and support the club, and therefore support the students who take part in the club and in the shows. For the synopsis, it was really important to me to have a clean and bright theme to help draw and keep the viewer's attention while staying within the theme of my personal website, which is where I posted this page. I wanted to have a simple layout and keep with the color scheme of the banner that we used for the show, and keep the fonts really clean and readable so that the audience can focus on what they're reading. I wanted the navigation to be simple and keep the focus on the content, like the digital flyer and the video spot. For the treatments, the graphic visualization and the style, I wanted to be pretty simple and clean and bright to help keep the audience's attention on the content, and which specifies the importance of the club and the show and details the important events of when the show is happening and who directed it. I wanted to have a simple navigation and simple structure to the website to keep focus on the content, and also highlight the content through the website. So where I think this project did really well in promoting the show and the club overall, I think that the content provided enough information so the audience gets a general understanding of the show and the club, but leaves out just enough so they would have to see the show to figure out exactly what happens. It's not spoiling anything. And I think that I did a good job of highlighting student involvement in the club and play, and really focusing on how important it is to those of us who are involved in this club and what the club and the show mean to us as a part of our student experience here at UC. So the first thing you'll see when you pull up the website is the banner that says Harvey, which is a part of what we used for the front of the playbill, and then a Daft Theater spring production. So right away it tells you who's producing the show and where it's coming from. Underneath that is the video project, which kind of gives a brief glimpse at all the characters of the play and just in general shows kind of the progression throughout the show. The next thing on the website is just a block of text that keeps it pretty short but explains the club overall and what we do and where we came from, and then gives a little bit of background on the show, just a very, very brief plot synopsis, and then a little bit about the cast and crew and when the show was performed. It also gives a little bit about how it's free and donations are welcome and accepted. Then below that is the digital flyer, which I made in Photoshop, and what I wanted to do is just draw attention to the title of the play again, and just kind of have something that would grab everyone's attention really quickly, and then provide a little bit of information, so who was involved in the show, when it happened, where it happened, cost, which in this case there was none, and then at the very bottom who the play was written by. And then at the very bottom there is a link to the Harvey event on Facebook. If you click on the link that's at the very bottom of the website, it'll take you to the Harvey Facebook event, which is hosted by the Daft Theater Facebook page, and that will give you any more information that you could want about how to become involved in Daft or in the show.